Hi, my name is Ayamika Johnson, and I am better known as the Vitiligo Goddess. You may be asking me, what is vitiligo? Vitiligo is an autoimmune disorder that causes white patches to form upon the skin because the cells that make up the color of your skin, they die. Vitiligo affects 1 to 2% of the world's population. Vitiligo affects all races. Vitiligo can occur at any point at any time in your life. I happen to have segmental vitiligo, which there are different types of vitiligo. It's turning into universal vitiligo. I cover my vitiligo for 12 years. And you may be asking me, why did you cover your vitiligo? Well, because, first of all, I'm a black woman and I'm turning white. You don't think that people were going to have questions to ask me? You don't think that maybe my children, might get bullied in school? Because people will call me a cow, a leopard, a Dalmatian, all different types of names. And then on the other hand, my African American community, they were gonna think, what, she don't wanna be black? She turning white, she trying to bleach her skin, because Michael Jackson had vitiligo, and they thought that he was trying to bleach his skin, but he wasn't. He had a skin condition. He had universal vitiligo, which can happen. So I didn't want all these questions being thrown my way. So I covered it for 12 years. I used to wear this makeup called Dermablend. And let me tell you something, the consistency of this makeup was thick. This makeup was normally used to cover up tattoos. Are things people didn't want people to see on their bodies. And so I had to wear that on top of foundation, on top of, concealer and all of those things. And it was just a lot. It would take me an hour and 45 minutes to do my makeup every day. And I never went out without my makeup. Everywhere I went, the only time you never saw me with makeup was when I was at home. And so my family only saw me with makeup. I felt like I needed to do that because, first of all, I didn't want my kids to be bullied because their mom looks like this and people be looking at them weird. People already, when I started to uncover, people didn't want to take money out of my hands. So it was just a lot that I didn't want to deal with. So that's why I covered. And then being an African American woman, and I'm turning white, because black women already are the most disrespected and unprotected in America. So I'm gonna have being a black woman and then now battle a skin condition. That was just gonna be a freaking lot. So I didn't want to deal with that. So I decided that it's to save everybody and myself the trouble. I'm gonna just cover and I'm gonna make everybody happy. But I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy with covering my vitiligo. I wasn't. In the back of my mind, I kept thinking to myself, sometimes when I would be doing my makeup, I would be thinking like, oh my God. Because I would get the makeup everywhere. I would get the makeup on other people. And it was so embarrassing for me to get makeup on other people. It was so much clothes, y'all. So much clothes that I had to throw away because I had makeup on it and I couldn't get the stains out. Let me tell you something about love. Love is incredible, right? Because love will help you face your fears. And the love that my fiance and I have is absolutely incredible. My husband now is absolutely incredible because he helped me face my fear of other people. And it's crazy because how am I, gonna let somebody or people tell me how to live my life and if I should wear makeup? Because I was basically doing it for other people. I wasn't doing it for myself. See, I loved me. I'm not gonna say that I was the most confident girl, but I loved me. My parents, they taught me to love myself, to be strong and stand up for what I believe in. And all, they taught me to be an incredible woman. And so I wasn't being that fearless woman that I was raised to be. I was being a coward because I was worried about what other people were going to say. So I wasn't living my life for me. And so my husband, he helped me to live my life for me. You know, he asked me, you know, why do you feel like you have to cover? And I was just like, I just don't want y'all to have answer all these questions. I don't want for people to be staring at us when we're in public. I just don't want to have to deal with all of that. And he said, I understand that. But how are you gonna live, honey? You're not living. And I thought about it, and I'm like, you know, I know. He was like, you don't do that. You don't have to do that for me. I love you just the way you are. And I think your vitiligo is just so pretty, especially the way it's formed. It's just so beautiful. And honey, you don't know how many people you could help. And he was right. Because when I decided, you know what, look, I'm not gonna do this anymore. I can't do this anymore because it wasn't real. I wasn't really being who I am. I was being somebody else. Because believe it or not, having vitiligo changed me. I wasn't the same person. I was a more weak person. And I needed to be more strong. So you know what? I used to write my little self-love notes on my mirror to tell myself every day, remind myself, you're beautiful, you're incredible, you're fearless. And it worked, you know, it worked for me. Every day I train my mind, you know, to be strong, you know. I remember the first time that I went out without makeup. I remember that. I remember people staring at me. I remember being, you know, kind of bunkered down until my husband, he was like, no, pick up your face. Smile like you do when you're at home. You're so happy. Be like that in real life. And I was like, I don't want people staring at me. He said, you know what he told me? He said, think of yourself as a painting. He said, what do people do when they go to art galleries? I was like, they look at the paintings. He's like, no, they stare at them. He was like, they're gonna stare at you. But you're so beautiful. I don't blame them from staring at you. It's incredible. And you know what? When I began to be more confident in who I was, those stares turned into like, wow. People came up to me and be like, all the time, I love your skin. You're so beautiful. You're so brave. And so in my mind, I was thinking that, you know, people were gonna, you know, tease me or look at me weird. And when I became more confident, when I became more strong, when I became fearless, when I didn't care what nobody said, people started to see. When I started to see the beauty in me, they started to see the beauty in me. Ain't that crazy? Ain't that crazy? When I started to believe in me, other people started to believe in me. Because if somebody like, let me tell you something. People can spot fear from a mile away. So if you walk in a room, you have to own it. And I was not gonna let anybody see me, you know, be fearful. And so I became fearless. And I was like, oh my God, like, it wasn't what I expected. So I was like, you know what? Think of how many people I could make feel the way I feel about myself. Think about how many people I could touch. And I started sharing my pictures. People started getting, you know, a whim of who I was. And I started like tearing down these different layers of myself. And I started opening up. And I started going on social media, voicing my opinion about certain things. You know, I started being more confident. I started living. I was living my best life. And people took notice. And now, you know, I am a social media confident queen. And now I inspire other people to let their guards down, to be strong, to be fearless, to to love themselves. And it is the best feeling when I get DMs from other people telling me, oh my God, you inspire me so much. Seeing you makes me more confident. I had a woman the other day tell me that I helped her get out of bed. Do you understand how amazing that is? I never thought, never thought that I could make someone feel that good about themselves. And it is the best feeling to me. I wake up every morning trying to inspire and empower other people. And so today, listening to this, I hope that you are inspired and empowered to love who you are. My name is Ayamika Johnson, and this was my story of becoming the goddess. Have a good night. Bye.